Hello guys, if you're a first time viewer, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Either way, thank you so much for being here, I really appreciate it. In today's video, let's talk about speciation. So what is speciation? Well, this is a form of evolution that occurs when a group separates from their parent species and then develops its own set of unique characteristics. And within speciation, there are four main types: allopatric, peripatric, parapatric, and sympatric, all of which we're going to explore a little bit in this video.
And also what I'm going to do for you to show the difference between the types of speciation is create a little video. Little video for you. So visually it's much clearer what I'm talking about. Not because I think you're stupid. You're not stupid. No, you're not stupid. I won't hear it. You're not stupid. I'm stupid. I'm stupid for mentioning it. Okay? I'm just going to do a little video within a video. Okay?
First up, allopatric speciation. This occurs when a species splits into two distinct groups, which then have no way of interbreeding with each other due to a physical barrier between them, for example, a mountain or a waterway.
Right, I cannot wait to interbreed. But there's a massive river in the way. I really wanted to interbreed with that one of my species over there, that one over there, but now I can't get to it because there's a big river in the way and I can't swim. Thanks a lot, nature.
Examples of this include finches of the Galapagos Islands, of which there are around 13 distinct species. These birds were studied by none other than Charles Darwin, giving them the collective name Darwin finches, who concluded that they must have all come from a common ancestor. These ancestors had made their homes on different islands of the Galapagos, and over time, established populations saw different mutations occur. This is mostly seen in the different type of beak shapes that each finch species has, which is directly linked to the type of food they eat. So whether it be seeds, flowers, or insects, different finch species have a different shaped beak to allow them to consume this food. Another example is the Grand Canyon squirrels. When the Grand Canyon formed around 10,000 years ago, the squirrel population was separated by this physical barrier. Over thousands of years, two distinct squirrel species then emerged. The original squirrel species, which inhabits the south rim of the canyon, known as Abbot squirrels, and the separated group, which inhabits the north rim of the canyon, known as kaibab squirrels. Whilst the two squirrel species are still very closely related, the kaibab squirrel has developed some different characteristics separating them from the Abbot squirrels. These changes can be seen in their dark bellies and forearms, their white tails, and a chestnut brown strip running down their backs. Next up, we have Peripatric Speciation. This is very similar to Allopatric Speciation, but involves a much smaller breakaway subgroup. Peripatric Speciation is also said to have occurred when the subspecies has developed in a different biological niche, for example, living in a different environment. And within these subspecies, there will typically be a special or rare gene, which over the course of a few generations will see the subspecies develop characteristics that separate them from the parent species.
You know what, it's weird that we're very, very similar to them on the surface. Very similar. Looking at us, you can't tell much of a difference really necessarily. But I am not interested in interbreeding with them because they like different food to me. Sorry about that. I'm not interested in what they want to eat. And actually, I don't like where they live either. I like it down here in the dark and the wet. All right.
An example of this is the London underground mosquito, which is a variant of the above ground Culex pipiens mosquito. The underground subspecies, scientifically known as the Culex pipiens molestus mosquito, is thought to have made the underground its home during the 19th century when it was first discovered by people using the underground system as a bomb shelter during World War II. Evidence of peripatric speciation having occurred within this subgroup can be found in the behaviours of the London underground mosquito. It is cold tolerant, can breed all year round, and feeds on the blood of humans, rats, and mice. Behaviours that differ from its above ground counterpart, which feeds on the blood of birds as opposed to rodents. And as a result of a crossbreeding experiment, it was discovered that the eggs produced by the two different species were in fact infertile, showing evidence of reproductive isolation and further evidence that Peripatric Speciation had occurred. Thirdly, we have Parapatric Speciation. This occurs in environments where species are not separated by borders, but instead live in spatially segregated habitats over a large geographical area. The difference here from allopatric and peripatric speciation is that those members of the diverging subspecies still have contact with the parent species, which allows for the exchange of genes. However, members of the separated group still choose to mate with members of their own territory, therefore leading to the eventual emergence of a new subspecies.
Yeah, we do all live sort of in the same kind of area. Yeah, that's very true. But the issue I've got is that I don't think that they think that I'm good enough. It's fine, because I'm a little bit different. And actually, I realise all my mates here are a little bit different too. So actually, I'm going to only interbreed with the ones that are a little bit weird and a little bit different like me.
Examples of parapatric speciation include the Ensantina salamander of California, which is a common salamander species found all along the west coast of North America. In simple terms, much like Darwin's finches, the Ensantina salamanders have a common ancestor. And due to them being fully terrestrial, meaning they spend all of their life cycles on land, over time they emigrated along the Pacific coastline, forming subspecies along the way, which can be identified by their various colours and markings and by subtle morphological and genetic variations which separate one salamander group from the other. And finally, we have sympatric speciation, which occurs when a new species emerges amongst a large population, with the two species continuing to live in overlapping proximity and/or identical habitats.
Yeah, absolutely. We live in exactly the same area. Yeah. We all live together. Yeah, but we've decided that it's going to be us and them. That's how it is. Okay. So we've got our little thing. We look like this now. They look like that now. Yeah, we're all the same, but we look different. Okay. No, it's not racist. It's not right. Whatever.
This form of speciation is also much rarer than the other three, to the point it's considered by some scientists to not exist at all. Scandalous. But let's not worry about the naysayers, and instead let's listen to me, somebody with no scientific background or knowledge on the subject outside of what I researched for this video. Research which led me to learn that this form of speciation can be seen in the cichlid fish living in a small volcanic lake in Tanzania. Despite living in the same habitat, these fish have two very distinct ectomorphs. The yellow-green variety, which lives on the shores of the lake, and a blue-black variety, which lives at the bottom of the lake, with studies showing that these two variants of the same fish are genetically very different. Another example of possible sympatric speciation comes from the apple maggot. Originally, this type of fruit fly laid its larvae inside a relative of the apple, a fruit known as hawthorn. But with the introduction of the apple to North America in the 19th century, some fruit flies decided to start laying their eggs inside apples instead. This eventually led to two races, if you will, of the same species, the apple maggot and the hawthorn maggot. Whilst both of these examples are not considered to be separate species as yet, it is hypothesized that they are both currently going through sympatric speciation and will eventually emerge as being two entirely separate species that can no longer interbreed, showing the constant evolution of nature as species adapt to the ever-changing world around them.